welcome to Minto-Mapleton Family Health Team Lower Body Stretching Session. Today I'll be going through 7 different movements to help stretch your lower body. And these stretches can be completed daily, ideally after any type of workout, after a walk or a jog, doing any sort of manual labor outside, such as yard work, gardening, cutting the lawn, or even after prolonged sitting or standing. These stretches are definitely helpful and very good to do after those activities. It's recommended to aim for a program of daily stretching, but if you can't quite get to daily stretching, trying to at least get to stretching 3 to 4 times a week is ideal. So the benefits of stretching is that it improves your flexibility, it improves your range of motion, it increases the blood flow to the muscles after you've done your workout or working hard outside. It improves your posture and the muscle imbalance that you might be feeling. You might be tight on your left side more than the right side. So daily stretching will help and reduce that muscle imbalance that you have. It reduces any stress and anxiety that you might be feeling and any pain or stiffness. Stretching is also very beneficial for that. And lastly, it improves your overall quality of life, just helping you do activities with more ease and less pain. So for today, like I said, we're going to be doing the lower body stretching session. So for today's session, you will need a chair. Some people may need a belt. Some people may need a little step stool. And then wearing running shoes as well is ideal when you're doing these stretches. So stretching, there is a proper way to do stretches. So when you're in a position, for example, when we're stretching your hamstring, you want to make sure that you're not bouncing and jerking while holding it for that duration that you've set out to hold it for. You want to find that nice, comfortable position and hold it without bouncing or jerking. So just be mindful of that when you're doing stretches. When you are stretching, you also just want to stretch within a range where it feels comfortable. You don't want to push past the point where you're in discomfort. So if you're feeling a little bit of pain when you're doing the stretch, maybe don't go as far into the stretch, pull back how far you're into the stretch, or maybe you need to stretch it a different way. You need to make modifications. When you're stretching, the aim is to hold it for at least 30 seconds or longer. Now, if you're someone that has extremely tight muscles, we may have to start with 20 seconds holding it in each position and then building it up to that 30 seconds or longer. But your goal is to try to hold it for that 30 seconds in that nice, comfortable, juicy stretch, not that painful. When you are stretching, it is very important to still continue to breathe to allow your muscles to relax. You want to, while you're holding the position, you want to take a deep breath in. And then when you exhale, that's when you want to try to relax any other tight muscles that might be affecting you, not allowing you to get more into that stretch. So ensuring you're not holding any tension. If we're stretching your hamstring muscle, make sure you're not holding tension in your calf. So trying to just relax all the muscles around whatever area, whether it be your upper or lower, in this case, your lower body. Try to relax all the tight muscles, the tense muscles that might be hindering you from getting into this stretch. And lastly, you want to make sure you remember to stretch both sides, so your left and your right, and repeating that stretch 2 to 3 times on each leg. So, that being said, for today's session, we are going to be stretching 3 times on each side and holding the stretch for 30 seconds. I will call out when 20 seconds is up. If you're unable to hold the 30 seconds, I'll let you know when that 20 seconds is up so that you can relax from the position and just wait for us to catch up with you while we hold it for the remainder of 10 seconds. We have a total of 7 stretches that we will be doing, and we will get started. So the first stretch that we will be doing is for your hamstring, which is the back of the leg muscle. So there's 2 different ways you can do this stretch. You can do it in a standing position or sitting in a chair. So I'm going to show you both ways, and then I'll start the timer, and you pick whatever way is most comfortable for you. If you're standing, I'll just turn to the side. You'd reach your foot out in front of you so that your heels rested on the floor. The other leg has a light bend in it. Nice and tall in your upper body posture. Then you hinge from your hip, allowing your butt muscles to kind of push backwards so that other knee is not going over your toe. And you just hold that position to feel nice, gentle stretch behind the back knee, going up to your bum. I don't want you to round your upper back. You want to keep your back nice and straight and flat until you feel that nice, gentle stretch. So that's if you're in the standing. You're going to do it in the seated position. I'm going to get you to sit on the edge of the chair. Very similar technique. Placing just your heel on the floor, letting it rest, and your toes are nice and relaxed. Again, sitting up nice and tall in your upper body. You're going to hinge from your hips, leaning forward until you feel that nice stretch behind the back of the knee going up to your bum. So I am going to stretch in this position for the first couple rounds. So I'll let you get situated in your position. Bring it nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Lean forward. And I will start the timer. So for the hamstring stretch, if you're feeling it down in your calf, you're pointing your toes too much, just let your toes relax. And remember to take that big deep breath in. And on the exhale, just let all the other muscles relax. If you're holding tension anywhere, just let it go. Good job. Very nice stretch. And that was 30 seconds. So we're slowly going to come up from that position. Same thing, but on the other foot. Placing that heel on the floor, letting those toes stay relaxed. Sitting up nice and tall in your upper body. Going to hinge from your hips until you feel a nice, gentle stretch behind your knee, coming up to your bum, and holding this position. Now, like I said before, if you're holding this position and it's painful, maybe don't lean as far into the stretch until you feel a nice, comfortable, gentle stretch. It should not be painful while you're holding these positions. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. On the exhale, just let all the other muscles relax. Nice job. 30 seconds. Slowly bring that foot in. We're going to repeat it back to that first side that you had started. So letting that heel relax on the floor. Sitting up nice and tall. Hinging from your head. I'm going to start the timer for 30 seconds. And for those of you that are holding it for 20, I'll let you know when that 20 seconds is up. We're about to do that for the first two, but I will do that from now on. Deep breath in. And exhale. That's 20 seconds. If you're able to hold it for the 30, continue to hold it. You want to rest your hands on that bent knee. That's 30 seconds. Slowly bring that foot in. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Resting that heel on the floor, sitting up nice and tall, hinging from your hips, keeping your back nice and straight. Again, you're resting your hands, your upper body on that bent knee. You don't want to put it on your straight leg. You don't want to hyperextend that straight leg. So, stay up nice and tall, deep breath in. And exhale. You might notice you can get a little bit further. That was 20 seconds. Awesome job. 30 seconds. And the last time, one more time on each side for a total of 3 stretches on each side. So that's that first leg. Sitting up nice and tall. Hinging from that hip. And then start the timer. Not jerking, just finding that position that's comfortable for you and holding this position. Deep breath in. And exhale. That was 20 seconds. Continue to hold it for the 30 seconds if you can. Awesome job. Slowly bring that foot back up to starting position. And last time on the other leg, rest the heel. Sit nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Hinging from your hips, keeping your back straight. Start the timer. And let all the muscles relax. When you're doing this one in the chair, you want to make sure you're sitting at the edge of the chair, not back over in your chair, to allow that other leg to be nice and straight. One second of that. And so is 30. So you can bring that foot in and come up to a standing position. So again, that should have felt really good at the back of your hamstring, the back of your thigh muscles. The next one that we're going to do is stretching the lower parts of your leg, the calf muscle of the back of your leg. So for this one, there's two different ways you can do this one. I will show you two different ways, and then you pick the one that you want to give a try, and then we'll hold that position again for 30 seconds, 3 times on each side. So this one, you start nice and close to your chair. The chair is just there for support. You step your foot back so that you have a staggered stance, but make sure your heel is remaining on the floor, nice and tall in your upper body, and you lean forward with that spread knee, making sure your back leg stays straight, your upper body is nice and tall, and not allowing that front knee to go over your toe. Look down and you see this knee going over the toe like that. You need to widen your stance a little bit more, so we put that knee at a better alignment. It's always behind your toes, staying up nice and tall like this. So that's one way you can stretch your calf muscles. Another way would be going to a step or a stool. And you can place both feet onto the step, and then you just let your heels kind of sink down a little bit lower. And holding this position again, keeping your legs straight, letting your heels stay lower than the step. You'll get the same sort of stretch around the back of your calf muscle. So you pick the way you want to stretch your calf, and then we'll get started with the 3 reps for 30 seconds on each side. I'm going to go back to the chair. So if you're in your chair, standing up nice and tall, reaching that foot back, making sure both toes are facing the same direction in front of you. Getting nice and tall, back heel on the floor, leaning in with that front knee, and I will start the timer for 30 seconds. Taking a deep breath in, and exhaling. Trying to let everything relax. You don't want to hold any tension in your shoulders or upper body. If you need to make sure your toes are both facing the same direction. And that's 20 seconds if you need to stop there, or if you're able to do the 30, then continue stretching with me. And that was 30 seconds. So slowly step that foot in, reaching the other foot back behind you, making sure your heel stays on the floor, bending forward in that front knee, keeping that back leg straight. Nice and tall in your upper body, not leaning on that chair, so nice and tall. And I started the timer for the other side. Deep breath in and exhale. And that's 20 seconds, 10 more seconds to go. Awesome job. Slowly step that foot in. And for the second time on each side, so that's that first leg you started with. Reaching that foot back, keeping that back leg straight, bending forward that front knee. I'm going to start the timer. You might notice you're able to go a little bit further into the stretch now because you did a good job stretching it the first round. Take that deep breath in. And exhale. On the exhale, let all those muscles just relax. Just 20 seconds. Good job. Step that foot in. Back to the second side. Making sure both toes are facing the same direction. Nice and tall, back leg straight. I'm going to start the timer for 30 seconds. And you don't want to lean forward in that front knee. All the weight should be the heel of that back foot. 20 seconds has gone over. 1 more seconds to go. Awesome job. Slowly step that foot in. So if you're only stretching 2 times on each side, you can continue to the next stretch. Or just stretch 1 more time on each side with knee forward, so we'll have 3 reps on each side. So back to that starting leg, reaching it back, so facing the direction. That heel is on the floor. Deep breath in and exhale. No bouncing or jerking, just holding that position. Just feel really good at your lower part of your leg. That's 20 seconds. 10 more seconds to go. Nicely done. Step that foot in and the last time on the other side. Reaching that foot back, toes the same direction, then nice and tall off the body. Not a lot of pressure on your chair. And I'll start the timer. So these are meant to be balance exercises, so I definitely like you to hang on to a chair just for support. But you can really take a full benefit of doing the stretches properly. 20 seconds is up. Awesome job. So that was the stretches again for your calf muscles, the lower part of your leg. The next stretch will be for your quad muscles. So the front of your thigh is where we'll be doing the next one. There's a couple different variations to this one depending on your flexibility and your range that you have in your quad muscles. So I will grab a couple of different pieces of equipment and you choose the one that is most appropriate for you to start with. And then build yourself up based on how much flexibility over time you create in your quad muscles. So the first way I'm going to show you is using a stool. So placing a stool behind you. You again want to hold on to something for support. Starting nice and close to your stool. Pick whatever leg you like to stretch. So for this one, I'm going to just show you, for example, with my right side. You're going to place your right foot so that your laces are flat on the stool. Making sure your knees stay in line, you're nice and tall, and you notice that you're not leaning over the chair. And you should feel a nice stretch down the front of the leg. If you're not feeling this stretch, then we need to place your foot on something a little bit higher. So this is where I'd like you to start. If you don't feel that stretch, we'll find another way. So take your weight off the chair. You need something a little bit more than the stool. What you're going to do is to try a belt. So if you're trying a belt, what you would do is move it so that your foot is in the belt. And you want to reach nice and close to your foot. You don't want to be reaching up here because then your elbow will have to be working a lot. You want to go nice and close to the belt. Again, staying nice and tall with the chair. Making sure your knees are in line. And holding that position. If you can only hold it down here with the belt, that's okay. If you need to pull it up a little bit so that you're holding it there. Sometimes you might lose your balance. So finding whatever position is comfortable with the belt. That's how you would use the belt, making sure those knees are flat. If you don't have a belt or you don't like that method, there's 2 more ways you can do it. You can grab another chair for support. Something that's a little bit higher. You can see the height difference between the stool and the chair. The stool is lower, the chair is higher. Hanging on to the chair in front of you. Again, placing the laces so they're flat on the chair behind you. Hold this position for that 30 seconds if you're feeling that gentle stretch in the front of the thigh. Again, if you're feeling that you're not quite getting the stretch that you'd like, you need to get a little bit further. The last way I can show you how to do it is hanging onto your pant leg or just grabbing onto your foot. So find the way that works best for you. I'll get the timer and we'll start for 30 seconds. So using the stool, a belt, a chair, your pant leg, or your foot. I'll use the chairs first. Nice and tall, place that foot on the stool. And I'll start the timer. Making sure your hips are nice and aligned, your knees are nice and flush here. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. You want to stay nice and tall in your upper body, so not leaning over the chair. You really want to open up in the hips here. 20 seconds up. Awesome. So slowly lower that foot from wherever you're holding it. Then we're going to switch to the other side and place the other foot on the stool, on the chair, grabbing hold of your shoe or your pant leg, or putting it in the belt, and controlling the upper body. And I'll start the timer for 30 seconds. Taking a deep breath in, and exhaling. Making sure your toes not on the chair like this. That's engaging some muscles you don't want to engage. You want to try to relax them and stretch them. So making sure your faces are flat on the chair. That was 20 seconds. Now slowly bring that foot off the chair. And we're going to repeat it 2 more times. So going back to that first leg, placing it on the chair, or on the stool, or grabbing a hold of it. Stay nice and tall in the upper body. I'm going to start the timer. Deep breath in. And exhale. Really good in the final leg. Again, if you're trying the chair, it's too much, then go down to the stool. 10 seconds. Slowly bring that foot off the chair. Back to that second leg. So prompting that second leg up on the chair. Making those knees are nice and flush. Stay nice and tall. Deep breath in. And then starting the time. Just feel really good. Relax. And tension you might be holding in your shoulders and just let everything hang nice and kind of dead weight. 20 seconds is up. Awesome job. Slowly bring that foot down. And so if you're only doing it 2 times, you can skip to the next stretch or do it 1 more time with me. For the last time, I'm just going to use my pant leg to show different variations of do it. Get nice and close, reaching down, rounding that foot. Getting nice and tall. Start the timer. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, just let everything relax. Make sure your hips are nice and level. 20 seconds is up. Slowly let that foot down. And the last time, for 3 reps on each side, grabbing that other leg, reaching it back behind you, standing up nice and tall. And then starting the timer. If you're hanging onto your foot is too much, you can try to grab the back of your shoe to hold that as well. Making sure that the knee doesn't come forward. You want to really stay nice and tall, keep those legs flush. And seconds left. Awesome job. You can let that foot slowly down. You're using two chairs. You can put one chair kind of headed your way and grab a hold of the other chair. So the next stretch is for, it's called a piriformis, but we're going to be working kind of the side of your glutes area. So you're going to sit on the edge of the chair again, just like something not back in your chair, on the edge of the chair so that your feet are flat on the floor. I'm just going to try to see if you can see it. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take a leg you'd like to stretch. So if you're able to, you're going to take one leg and right by the ankle, you're going to pop it right above the knee of the other foot, sitting up nice and tall. If you're not quite able to get your foot up there, what you could do is lower. So right now this leg is at 90 degrees. You could lower it a little bit so that it's not as high, right? Placing your ankle on top of the knee now to see how that feels, so you get nice and tall. That feels okay, then use that position. If you still quite can't get it because of knee, or you just don't have that flexibility or range, you can also place it a little bit lower below the knee and try and hold that position for 30 seconds. So again, find the position that's most comfortable for you. I'm going to show you two different ways of doing it. I'm going to go back to that first way. So grabbing a hold of that one foot right where the ankle is, placing it right above the knee, putting it nice and tall, and you should feel it kind of in the side of your bum-shaped area. And what you're going to do is take a deep breath in and lean forward until you feel a nice gentle stretch at the side of your hip. And I'll start the timer. Again, you're hinging from your hip. I don't want you to be rounded here. You want everything just nice and relaxed. Too much to lean forward than just sitting nice and tall. And also apply a little bit of pressure down on the knee if you'd like. 20 seconds is up. And slowly relax that foot back down. Same stretch, but on the other side. So grabbing the leg, placing that ankle right by the knee. You might notice one side is tighter than the other side. Sitting up nice and tall, taking a deep breath in. Now on the exhale, either lean forward a little bit more into that stretch. You can feel it in the hip. Or apply a little bit of pressure down on that knee. You can do it with your arm, just a light pressure until you feel a nice, gentle stretch and hold in this position. That was 20 seconds. You have 10 more seconds left. Awesome job. Slowly relax that foot. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see me from the side. We're going to repeat the stretch again. So back to that first leg, placing it on top of the knee. If you're able to, if not, lower that foot so it's a little bit lower. And I'll do it this way right now. Putting it nice and tall and leaning in so you find a nice, gentle stretch. And right in there. Keep your chest nice and tall. Deep breath in. And exhale. And again. 20 seconds is up. Awesome job. Slowly let that foot down. And same thing on the other side. Again, I'm going to show you if you're able to do it this way and place your leg up, then go back to that. If not, then you're going to lower that leg so it's not as much of a 90-degree. Place it on top, sitting up nice and tall, Deep breath in, and exhale, and leaning forward, keeping that back nice and straight, not rounding my wrist, nice and straight. Close your eyes and just relax with your legs. Seconds. Awesome job. That was 30 seconds. So bring that foot down. So if you're only doing the stretches 2 times on each side, you can skip to the next stretch. Otherwise, continue with me and we'll stretch 1 more time on each side. So back to that first leg. Placing the ankle above the knee or below the knee if you need to. Nice and tall. And I'll start the timer. Notice you can get a little bit further into the stretch just like the other ones. Seconds, so hold this position if you're able to. Again, don't stretch into a point where you're feeling pain. These stretches just be a nice, gentle, comfortable stretch. And that's 30 seconds. So the last time on that side, slowly lower that foot down. And the last time on your second leg. Placing that foot up. Sitting up nice and tall. Hinging from the hips. And then give us start the timer. 20 seconds is up. Awesome job. And you can slowly lower that foot to the ground. So that was the stretch for the side of your glute muscles, your hip muscles. While we're in this position, we're actually going to just stay in this position and do the next stretch. The next stretch is again for your glute muscles. It looks very similar. So sitting in a chair, you place your heel, your ankle, above your knee, but instead of applying that gentle pressure down and leaning forward, you're actually going to pull that knee in towards your chest a little bit. So we're going to be working kind of the butt muscles a little bit more here, not by working them, I mean stretching them. So we'll hold this for 30 seconds. Still sit nice and tall at the edge of your chair. Not holding tension in your shoulders, so having everything down and relaxed. Taking a deep breath in. And exhale. 20 seconds is up. And slowly let that leg down. And stretch on the other side, placing the ankle above the knee. Nice and tall in your upper body, so your back is nice and flat. And gently pulling that knee in towards your chest, keeping that upright position with your upper body. Set the timer for 30 seconds. Take that deep breath in. And exhale. This stretch can also be done while laying down on the floor, bringing that knee kind of over your body and closer to your chest. You'd feel it in the same position, but I'm just going to show you it in the chair. 20 seconds has gone by. Awesome job. Slowly relax that foot down, and the second time on each side. So back to that first leg. Placing it above your knee, or if you need to put it a little bit lower, and pulling that knee in towards your chest. Staying nice and tall, and yet you're not yanking on the knee. Finding that comfortable position and holding this position without bouncing or jerking. Deep breath in. 20 seconds is up. And slowly lower that leg and come out of that position. The second time on this side, find your starting position with your ankle above your knee, sitting nice and tall, flat back, gently pulling that knee into your chest. And if you need to, you can move a little bit further into this level, or bring that knee further into your chest until you find that nice stretch up the side of your glute muscle. Deep breath in. And exhale for 20 seconds. And that is the timer, so relaxing that foot. Again, if you're only doing it 2 times on each side, that was the 2 times. Or you can do it one more time, holding it for 30 seconds with me by joining me for the next round. So I'm going to turn to the side, so on the side. So placing that ankle on your knee, so it comes tall. Then when you're ready, pulling that knee into your chest. Keep that back nice and flat. We're not again rounding. Nice and flat and relaxing those muscles. The last stretch, we're kind of applying the pressure down. This time you're bringing the pressure, your knee into your chest. 20 seconds is up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good job. You can slowly let that foot down. And the last time, but on the other foot. So placing that ankle on top of the knee, sitting it nice and tall. When you're ready, applying that pressure, the knee, bringing into your chest. And start at the timer. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, just let everything go. One second is up. Awesome job. And you can slowly relax your foot from that position. You're going to stand up from your seated position. We have 2 more stretches to do. You place your chair out to the side a little bit. So for this next stretch, it's going to be kind of stretching the inner thighs in your groin area. What you're going to do, if you need to hang on to a chair for support, you certainly can. If you don't need it, that's okay as well. But you're going to widen your stance so that it's greater than hip width apart. Then what you're going to do is you are going to lean one way while keeping that other leg straight. So having both feet facing the same direction. I'm going to lean into my left side, and it's okay if your hand is hanging on against that chair for support. But while you're doing it, it's almost like you're setting your hips back behind you. I don't want your knees to go over your toes, so I'll turn to the side. If I widen my stance, and when I'm going to lean, see how my bum kind of sinks back? I want that instead of you leaning forward, okay? I'm going to turn back to face you. Widening that stance, leaning to one side until you feel that nice, gentle stretch in your inner thigh muscles. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. I started the timer. Again, you can hang on to the chair for support or no chair if you are able. Hang on to the chair is okay as well. Deep breath in and exhale. Try to keep everything nice and straight and aligned. Toes facing the same direction. 20 seconds is up. Awesome job. Come back to that center position. We'll do the same thing, but on the other side. So leaning in to the opposite knee until you feel that nice, gentle stretch on the inner thigh into your groin. Start the timer. And making sure the weight is kind of set back so that's in the heel of your bed knee and not your toes. Holding this position. Deep breath in. And exhale. 20 seconds is up. there's 30 seconds. So back to center. That was one time on each side. So we're again going to repeat back to the other side. If you need to, in between each one, you can bring your feet together and then get into your hip width apart again. Then leaning into the one side and starting the timer. You're not quite feeling this stretch here. What you need to do is you need to widen your stance a little bit further until you feel that gentle stretch in your thigh. But again, only going to a point where it's comfortable, not to a point where you're getting kind of 20 seconds. Stay nice and tall in your upper body. Awesome job. 30 seconds is up. And back to that second side, leaning in. Let's start with the timer. Holding this position. Deep breath in. And exhale. Feel really good in here. Seconds is up. Awesome job. So if you're doing it 2 times on each side, that's like 2 times on each leg. But if you'd like to join us again for that third round, we're going to go back to 1 more time on each side. Again, widening your stance so they're greater than hip width apart. Lunging, kind of leaning into that one knee, keeping that leg nice and straight, toes facing forward. And I started the timer already. Holding this position for 30 seconds if you're able. Putting your bum behind you. Breath in. And exhale. That's 20 seconds. 10 more left to go. Nice job. Come back to center. And the last time, back on that other side. Lunging into that knee, keeping that other leg straight, toes facing the same direction. Starting the timer, stretching until you feel that nice gentle stretch. You feel really juicy, really good. And holding this position. Again, still not jerking. If you feel like you're jerking, please hang on for support. 10 more seconds left. And that's the timer. So you can bring your legs back in together. You feel that stretch going in your thigh muscles. You can kind of shake it out a little bit. And we have 1 more stretch left to go. So the next stretch will be stretching your upper thigh muscles. This one can get a little tricky. So I'll make sure I explain that there's 2 parts to it. If you're only able to do 1 part, that's okay. You can have the second part if you're able to. If not, don't worry about it. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with crossing the left leg over the right leg. Keeping both toes again facing the same direction. Then with your upper body, whatever leg you crossed out in front, this is the second part. If this is all you can handle, then that's okay. The second part, what you would do is the opposite arm is crossing over. So if I cross over with my left leg, my right arm is up, and I lean over the other side. Okay, and you hold this position. So I'll let you get into position. If this is all you can do, that's okay as well. Cross over, and I'm going to start the timer. You can hang on to the chair for support, or you can also not hang on to, whatever you need to do. Still stay nice and tall, taking a deep breath in, and exhaling. And this is working your upper thigh muscles, the other part of your upper thigh. 20 seconds is done. If your arm's too tired from being up there, you can just simply place your elbow or just lean. Just stay nice and tall. That's 20 seconds, so uncross your legs. And we do the same thing. Hang on to your chair. You might have to switch to the other side or just bring it up or down. And you would cross your right leg over your left foot. Your left arm comes up and over, and hold this position for 30 seconds. Taking a deep breath in and exhale. Again, not a lot of pressure on the hand there for support. It's just there to help keep you upright. You can't put your arm over your head. You can do your shoulder like this, so you can get a little bit further in, or simply just trying to relax all the other muscles. So 20 seconds is all the way home up. And slowly come out of that, slowly step out of that, and back to the first leg we started with. So crossing that left leg over that right foot, that right arm is coming up, reaching over, take a deep breath in, and I'm going to start the timer. Again, finding a comfortable stretch, not bouncing and jerking. Remember to take your deep breath in and exhale to relax any tense muscle that might be hindering you from getting a further stretch. 20 seconds is up. And left is 30, so gently come back to starting. Uncross the legs, and I'm doing the opposite foot open press. So I'm crossing my right foot over, my left side's coming up, and I'm going over. And feeling this in your upper thigh muscle. Good job. You've been great so far. Keep it up. 20 seconds left to go. 20 seconds is over, 10 seconds left to go. And slowly bring that arm down. Slowly uncross your feet. So that was 2 times on each side. Again, if you want to join me for the third set, by all means, simply join me. Otherwise, just hang tight for us. So back to that first leg. I'm going to cross my left leg over my right leg, staying nice and tall in that upper body. With my right arm, I'm reaching over, and I'm starting the timer. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. And 20 seconds is up. Slowly come up, slowly uncross your legs. And the last time, on the other side, so crossing the other leg out in front, reaching that other arm up and over, and holding this position for 30 seconds. I'm not going to cross my arms, so for those of you that aren't, you can still see how I'm doing. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. Seconds up. Awesome job. You can uncross your legs. Let's take both chairs up to the side. That's all the stretching, but I like to finish with some deep breathing. So we're gonna do 3 deep breaths together. Let everything hang. Take a nice deep breath in. And when you do that, you're going to raise your arms. And on the exhale, slowly return everything back. And then we're going to do it 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. Reaching as high towards the ceiling as you can. If you want to go up onto your toes, that's okay. And exhale. And one last time. Taking a deep breath in. And exhale. Awesome job. So that is all the stretches for the lower body stretching session. So we did a total of 7 of them. Like I said, there's different modifications based on your ability, your own flexibility, so finding the one that's most appropriate for you. And then if that becomes too easy and you're not quite getting that stretch, then maybe going to the one where it's a little bit harder and you just get a little bit further into that stretch. Like I said, stretching is ideal for us to aim for a program to do daily stretching. But if you can't quite get to the daily stretching, trying to get at it at least 3 to 4 times a week is important. Making sure you do all the stretches with that proper execution, your deep breathing, no bouncing and jerking, stretching each side, at least 2 times on each side, even going for that third if you'd like. These stretches after workouts, after walks, after you just break the lawn, or cut the lawn with a lawnmower. Those are very good times to do these stretches just to reward the muscles for the work that they put in. I hope you've enjoyed the class. If you have any other questions about stretching or lower body, upper body, or looking for an exercise program or just support, definitely check out our website at Minto-Mapleton Family Health Team at MMFHT.ca, or give us a call to the clinic. The number is 519-638-2110. And myself, Brittany, or Sandy, the other kinesiologist, would be more than happy to help you out. Thanks again for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. This event has now ended.